Today we are hanging out with Matt from We Lost the Sea. Matt, how are you doing today?
Good. Yeah, good.
Good is
Tired,
always
but
a good
good.
answer. But aside from
Yeah.
being good, you've been busy. We Lost the Sea have just released a new album, A Single Flower. What can you tell us about
Mm.
this new release?
Um, Not much more than what's been hopefully spread around on the internet. It's been in production for 5 years, like from inception through to now. So it's been a long ride. Um, yeah, and it's been a really measured experience for the first time, I think. I think previous records and previous record cycles have been kind of stop-starty, stressful, hectic. I mean, it's always kind of like that, but I feel like this time we've got more engagement from crew, from label, more support in general, and we gave ourselves a really long timeline to do it. So it feels very accomplished, and it's a good feeling. Yeah.
As you said, it was 5 years in gestation, and that was part of the plan. It wasn't things going awry. I mean, you write fairly long, drawn out songs as well. So I think that's very apt for the album you have create to have that amount of time
Yeah.
in the oven.
Yeah, long songs take forever to write. So, but like I think, well, the pandemic was right in the middle of it. So that was a huge kind of like slowdown, but we never, I mean, I think we may have taken some kind of break, but I was always thinking, people were always thinking about the band all the time. So, maybe I did myself a bit of an injustice while the whole world was shut down. I was still, I've got to think about this project. I should have like taken that time to just like have a break, but it wasn't, ironically, like that time wasn't, that was kind of stressful. So, it wasn't. But the nice thing that happened in the middle of the two lockdowns that we had was that we got together to do big writing sessions, and they were the genesis of what A Single Flower is now. And so they've been sitting and gestating since that period. So I think it wasn't the plan, but and then when we started talking seriously about it, with a lot of help from Mike at Bird's Robe for his sage advice, um, just giving ourselves long timelines. Most of us have kids, everyone's got partners, everyone's got full-time jobs. So we can't, it just like we used to do things in really like intense periods, and it'd be like a longer period of recovery from this really intense period as opposed to just like piecemealing it up. So I think we're slowly learning. We're approaching middle age and we're slowly kind of starting to figure it out.
The plan comes together. Now, along with
Yeah.
the album having been released, you did also put out two singles and videos to go with them. A Dance with
Yep.
Death, which was a
Mhm.
live performance video. It looked like you were maybe hanging
Yep.
out in the studio for that one, as well as what was
Yep.
dubbed as your first true film clip. Everything here
Mm.
is black and blinding. And that one in particular
Mm.
was directed by Sim from Seams and
Hmm.
Birdman and a bunch of other bands because he is also very prolific himself. But yeah, how was
Yeah.
working on the video with Simo?
Yeah, great. That was like such a quick. It was so, it was very efficient. Yeah, no, it was fun. It was good. When I say first true music video, I guess I'm sort of putting myself down because the first one is actually a Bark and Charge from A Quiet Place on Earth. And I worked with our other friend Gwen at the time, and she was awesome. She was learning a bunch of film stuff. I was self-teaching and going to directing courses and like pretending that I was, going to be a music video director. But it felt like a college project, but it looked really good. I pulled in all these amazing favors. But I feel like that as the modern We Lost the Sea, and with such a like with an eye with the TV guy Sim behind it, plus all of the talent that was working on it, like crew and talent on screen, it was just amazing. It looks so much more professional. It looks amazing. So yeah, it was great. And we worked with our other mate Aaron, we got invited along to the studio just take photos and shoot a bunch of stuff and just let the cameras roll kind of thing. And we managed to sort of patch together enough footage from dance when we did the tracking for it to sort of make a music video. There's some bits in there that are sort of like, oh, that was a take that, he's not actually playing what's on the record. So they kind of like edit around it, but and that's mostly me because I was trying to figure out what I was doing right until the last minute. And my actual take isn't on that shoot. So it's kind of like, yeah, I kind of look like I'm doing the right thing. But in general, we've never really done that. There was a concerted effort to make videos and just to do here's the two singles, here's the two videos. They've got two different flavors. Um, yeah, it was good. It was good. I think like I've been wanting to do a music video for ages, and I reached out to Sim and I was like, please help. Like I have no time, I have no contacts, and here's my budget. And he was like, yep, let's do it. So yeah, massive props to him.
All right, you sound like he was the right man for the job then.
Yeah, absolutely. I was so time poor and my brain was split 16 different ways trying to think about stuff. And I just needed to go, here's like top level thing, here's a mood board. Please make this happen.
We need
So yeah, it
dark, we
was
need
it was it was fun. Yeah, it
ethereal,
was awesome. And like,
we need beauty.
yeah. Oh, like I wanted dance. I've wanted a modern contemporary dancer in a video in some format for ages. I just love it. I like it's not something I like go and sort out. When I was looking for reference on YouTube, I just fell into found these amazing videos, like performances and stuff. And like it's I see a lot of videos do it and I like it. And I just think that it's such a and for an instrumental band, it was just such a really beautiful interpretation. She did on her own. She improvised. Emma, the talent, the dancer, wonderful. Yeah, and she ran through it like three times. One of the setups was her running it through it just three times, and it was just all improv. But she'd been practicing it and kind of like vibing with the song, and then that's her. And it was the first time she ran through. I was immediately blown away. I was like, that itself, one take could be the video, like, but we wanted to try and tell a story and stuff, and I wanted it to be really dark and moody, and yeah, it was heaps of fun.
Objective achieved. Now, also in lead up to the release of the album, you guys put on a listening party, but not just a listening party, it was a combined art show. Can you tell me a bit about the inspiration behind that?
Well, I do all the art for the band, so I kind of piggybacked off that to do a single flower full exhibition of all the art because I think I counted individually, there's about 17 different illustrations and bits of art that went into the full vinyl and CD package, which I've been meaning to work on a web online version so people can see it and, connect with the art, which is a huge part of the storytelling of the record. So I just thought that I'd just jump, like the old bar's got a top level and they've done exhibitions up there for years. And I was just like, I'm just going to do that. So yeah, we've got our supplier in regional Victoria, Sean, who does all my printing for me. He sends my prints all over the world, and it's amazing actually how far they travel. But he also does framing. He framed it up for me. He drove it from his house to Melbourne. And then Joel at the old bar, like shout outs to all these guys, like that he hung it for me. So, and it's still up at the old bar. And so it's my first, I was lucky enough to do an art exhibition in China of all places, but I wasn't able to go because it was locked down. It was our guy, Jeff over there who runs New Noise. He arranged it for me. That's another story, but it's my first proper one in Australia. And it was just all this single flower stuff. And yeah, it looked amazing in the space. I was so stoked. I just wanted it to be like a big loving We Lost the Sea night. It's like, here's the record. Sorry guys, we're playing it over the PA. It might sound a bit shit and we're not playing. I'm sorry. But here's all this other extra stuff that you can, hang out and check out and stuff. So it was cool.
It would also been very cool seeing, that side of it come to fruition and also have its chance to shine alongside
Yeah.
the record as well. seeing sort of, I guess,
Yeah,
both of your big artistic output loves really coming together in a dedicated space just for that.
yeah, yeah, true. Yeah.
Now, there was one more element to that listening party, and that was a beer that you guys put together with Cronulla Brewery. Now, being
Yeah.
a beer for We Lost the Sea, and to my own particular taste, I would have pictured something like a nice dark porter or stout, but you guys went with a double hazy IPA. Can you tell me a little bit behind the thought process of getting the beer happening?
My facial expressions is the is the reaction of after drinking a beer. Yeah, it's like 7.4%, 2.6 standard drinks. I don't know. We lost the season, not afraid of a beer. Like we've been known to drink the red wine off a plane. So anyway, the Cornell guys, they just took the lead on it. They had an idea that I think they had this concoction brewing before this, and I think that they just big fans of the band. They reached out, or I think one of us, Mark, made contact with them or something. Yeah, it just came about. They were just fans, and it came about, and we were just like, yeah, man, whatever you want to do, like that's cool. But it was like 7.4%, and I'm just like, that's actually perfect. Like we listen to see, like we'll get you drunk, like with or
Yeah,
without us being there, you know. So
we want to put the beer out and we want to make you feel like you're standing on a boat while you lose the sea.
yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah, so man, they had it on tap at the old bar, which like was awesome to see. But like, man, I had 2 pints of that, and it was, yeah, it was a good night.
And if you weren't yeah, going to play, you probably felt ready to rock by then as well. Just like, ah, screw it, give me a guitar.
Yeah,
So I always know myself after I've had a couple and I'm at an event, it's just like, yeah, it's ready to rock and roll.
yeah. No, I mean, it was nice being at a gig that we weren't playing, but it was still sort of our gig. Yeah, and then we could just drink heaps of beers and just not worry about it. So, but
Now
yeah,
that
all the gigs are coming up now. They're all coming up literally. This time next week I'll be in Dallas, Texas, which is
yes,
fucking wild.
that's the next step for you. You're about to embark on a North American tour, and you're going to
Mm.
be taking Hubris around with you as well.
Hmm.
Are
Yep.
there
Big
any places that you're playing on the tour that you haven't played before and are super excited to be able to share your music with?
We've never been to the States as a band, so first time to the US, which is yeah, amazing. It's kind of like it's that childhood like teenager. Oh man, like all my favorite bands come from America. I can't wait to tour America. And now it's like I'm approaching 45. And I would listen to that inner teenager going, finally did it. 30 years later, we're finally touring America. But yeah, cool. Interesting times to be over there. I will admit, I've been to the States 3 times before.
Mhm.
The last time was in 2013, so I'm sure it looks a bit different from now, but I've got friends there and I can't wait to see them and I've always had a great time in the States. So, and a couple of boys have never been there before, so it's going to be an eye opener for them. But yeah, we're just looking forward to playing every single show. We're just keen, we're chomping at the bit to get touring. So it's you tell people that you've toured Europe 3 times and China twice and Australia a dozen times, and they're like, "Oh, that's really awesome, man. You guys must be, that's really successful, whatever." And then you tell them you're touring America, and they're like, "Wow, America! You're a real band now." And it's like, yeah. So it still carries that kind of gravitas, I suppose. But it's
Mhm.
just cool. It's good to be out celebrating the record.
Oh, definitely. And then when you get home and maybe after a little bit of break to recover from the American tour, you're then also touring here in Australia.
Yeah, got tour October, November. Only 4 shows, and sorry, Adelaide and Perth. We'll get there eventually. Um, yeah, it's just limited time off from work, and we've got to, yeah, we've got to. We'll save some for the rest of the country. But yeah, we're doing Sydney, Melbourne, and we're doing Hobart for the first time, which will be awesome. Any
So
excuse to go Hobart, I love it down there. So
burning up all your annual leave for the tour, perhaps even some long service leave. maybe a little bit
Yep.
of sick leave in there as well. Just cook it all
Man,
down
yeah,
for the
truth.
tour.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was lucky enough to go. It was my wife's 40th this year, and we were lucky enough to go as a family to Vanuatu. So I burnt some leave there, knowing full well that the end of the year would be a bit more painful when it came to leave. But yeah, man, all of us are in the same boat. That's just how it works. Yeah.
Those life logistics. Well, one thing
So
that
much.
yeah, that's pretty much the mood of it. But yeah, one thing we can definitely do is keep an eye on those dates that you'll be touring here in Australia. I said it's going to be in October and November, and make sure that we
Hmm.
all get out and support you on this tour. The record is Single Flower. I said it's already released and available for your streaming pleasures, or get yourselves that physical copy so you can hold that artwork in your hands. But Matt, thank you so much for chatting with us today, and we wish you all the best with the album and the tour.
Legend. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate your time. Cheers.